Live. We're live.
Yeah.
Right.
Group three.
We're live. I guess we are missing Lori, but if you guys want to schedule or attempt to schedule the rest of the semester, is that something you guys want to do?
Yeah. So
Yeah, if we can.
here's
that.
here's a thought. If we were kind of like, because we have to put out a whole schedule for the whole rest of the semester, I feel like that's really unrealistic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Said we can reschedule,
So,
but she wants like a tentative thing, I think.
right. So I was saying like if we could get like a time, for example, if we said, hey, like 10 a.m. Arizona time is when we will meet, and then we can just kind of say that across the board, and if then like that week something happens, we can kind of coordinate with each other.
That sounds great.
What do you
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I'm
10 a.m.
totally fine with
So,
that.
okay, because then we have like an idea.
I love it.
Okay,
Right. So what kind of works for everybody?
10 a.m. on Monday is fine with me, so.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
Me too.
Okay, so we'll tentatively say 10 o'clock on Mondays and go from there. Yeah, and so what is the best way then for like group communication? Because I feel like we could streamline this better.
Yeah. The problem with the emails is whenever I send out an email, people just respond directly to me, and then it's like a lot of pressure and stress that I don't know how to deal with, really.
Right.
So I don't know if we want to
like,
get like, a private email group going or maybe give each other our phone numbers.
I think Google Docs, I used that for another class and it worked good, so I'm thinking that might work. If everybody just logs on to Google Docs, and it also helps when we have to do our last paper because it updates live as you're doing it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
for like
communication with
on Google Docs.
Yeah. Like. Okay. Is that what we're thinking? Like, can you get notified through that? That's gonna be my biggest problem. Like, if it's a text message, I'll know, or an email, I know I can respond to it instantly.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can get notified from it. That's the only thing. I know it'll be good for our final paper, though, but I'm not sure about notifications.
Right.
So we should probably Google Docs for the work that we do, but maybe have a more instant way to get in touch with each other.
Okay.
I'm
Are
really
you guys
good at
like
responding to text? Like group texts are always really good with me.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
It's not like I'm gonna be texting you guys every day. Like, so it can't be really that annoying. So, I'm good with like that. If you guys want to, like a group message, and then we can add Lori in and be like, hey, 10 a.m. is not gonna work for me, so don't wait for me, or you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Maybe we should just do on the discussion board on the Blackboard. Just put your phone number there. You think?
Yeah.
Or you can like if you, Jamaica. I don't know because you're on an iPad, but I know like if you click on the little chat button that's up on the left, the little like on your screen, it will like pop out with a little. Actually.
Oh yeah, genius.
Yeah. So like.
I don't have that.
And then I'll just start the text message right now. So just type in your phone numbers, and I'll just do it, and then it's done. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Let me see if I can do that.
Or if not, Jamaica, you can just tell me right now, and I'll do it.
I think I got it. I just had to get out of the video for a second. So.
Okay.
Okay. I think I did it right. Did I do it right?
Yeah, you're good. All right, so I'm just going to punch this in, and then we can do that. So if you guys want to start the prompt, we're going to do Mondays at 10 a.m., a group text, and then we'll do Google Docs for all of the last paper stuff. So, Jamaica, since you've already, like, been with, like, done experience with that, can you set that up and invite all of us to it?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to do this. Someone start talking. I don't like hearing myself.
Okay. This week's discussion prompt is what qualities make a good leader? What qualities make a poor leader? In discussing this, please consider material from the text and lectures as well as personal experiences and mediated or television examples.
Mm-hmm.
I did some research when I sent that email out, and the definition from our text by Grace Murray Hopper says you manage things and then you lead people. So you don't manage all the pieces. You manage all the pieces, not just people. So people are just part of the system. When you're focused on the people as resources instead of just things, usually you get better results. So the ultimate goal is to like meet shared group goals and means. But I kind of like that idea because it's obviously more intimate and more fun to be personal with people and treat people as, peers and people that you want to work with and get invested, and it just is more of a genuine relationship, and I think it makes everyone else want to work hard too. Kind of my thought.
Okay.
Absolutely. Today I was like doing a lot of the reading for chapter 1 and like where we discuss that and we do our post about that. So I was doing that today, so I feel like it's really fresh in my mind because in our text there's so many pages on the differences between good and bad leaders, and like a lot of adjectives actually that I noticed. Where is it? That hit home for me because I know that working in retail and moving to so many different locations in my 3 years with Starbucks, I've had a lot of different management experiences in that, and like I've had like really hardworking leaders who were always on the floor, and like they constantly, like, you looked at them and they totally 100% were all about Starbucks and they followed our qualities and our brand to a T. And then I've had other managers who were like, this is just a job, I'm just here, like, you need to do this, this, and this. And then they email their manager back, and it was just like not even what leadership is about. So it's really interesting in hard text to look at the differences in a good and a bad leader.
Okay.
When you're working with your managers, you prefer the people that get more invested in the company as well as you guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I think it's really hard working in this industry of customer service and like having to fake it every day. Like, it just doesn't come across that way because you go into Starbucks and like everybody's really nice. I know myself, like, that's huge. My customer service is really important to me. And so if I'm going in and that's the manager and they aren't like providing that 100% customer experience for them, then what are they doing? How are they running a store that's based on customer service if they can't embody that as well, you know? So I think it's super important that if you're going to be on the floor and you're going to be leading other people, then you have to give that example and show how to actually do it, and not just point your finger and be like, hey, you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that so that I look good to my boss.
Yeah.
I would say oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, on that, I just had some really cool conversations at the corporate office for Starbucks, like, 2 days ago, where we talked about how leadership is all about creating, like, a culture, and how out of that culture that a leader makes all these different, so, like, for me, like, customer service is, like, that culture that you want, and like, I want to be known as a leader that makes people feel safe, that they feel inspired, that they feel thought of, and I think that a good leader is going to create a healthy culture, and by doing that, they're going to be, that's going to lead to communicating effectively and being transparent and being personal, and a bad leader, consequently, would be the opposite of those things. So that's my 2 cents on that.
No, yeah, I think that's great.
I also think I was reading the text in the book, and I think the one that stood out to me was communication. Communication is what makes the best leader, in my opinion. And in the book, it said the willingness to interact with others. As a person who's a server, and I have to interact with people daily, from my bosses to coworkers to actual people who come in to eat. I find that communication is the overall key. If you're not able to interact in effectively and kind of I've had bosses that have talked down to me, and I've had bosses that have talked to me, like they understand what I'm going through, and that has made a true leader, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm in a profession, I guess, as a professional athlete where I'm just coached, and it's kind of like a dictator type of relationship, and it's not in any way, I'm not treated like a peer, I'm not invested in as a person, you know, it's more like I have to do what I'm told, and taking this class already, like, is changing my perception on leadership, and, you know, kind of how that's, like, outside of the bubble that I'm in, but it's really interesting to hear that, you know, I feel that way in my personal relationships. Like, if you're invested in them as a person, you definitely get better results. And I really like the theory and hearing your guys' examples of how it's working, you know, in your professions as well.
Do you think that as like in the athletic world that the type of leadership that you're seeing is very much like in a hierarchy and not so much in this group think type of environment?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you find that like stunting at times or like more frustrating?
You know, I've never really been exposed to anything different, and I think that when, you know, you are really getting something out of the way that relationship works, I think I just accept it. You know, and I think it would kind of stunt the performance if it was a groupthink mentality. I think a groupthink mentality might work if, you know, we were working amongst peers and like coaching each other, but because, you know, I have a coach, I think it's his job to kind of be the, you know, like the authority and like leader.
Right, right.
And leadership qualities do change depending on what you're doing. Like for her, yeah, a coach is totally different than an actual, you know, boss in a corporation. It's just a whole different aspect, I feel like. So I feel like a leader has to understand it and has to switch their roles depending on what it is they're doing.
Well, it's like talked about that in our text, like the difference of situational leadership. So like one person can do better in one situation than they would in the next. Like not saying that they're a bad leader necessarily, but they may not be in the best situation for that, for what they have strengths in necessarily.
And I think it brought that point up too in the book where it said like it's about who you are, it's about like how you act, what you do, and how you work with others. And I think that situational leadership is crucial because, like for me, I know that if I'm like with my personal trainer, like I want them to be in my face and to be telling me that I can do better, that I can, you know, like that's what I need. I need that kind of motivation, like in my face. But if let's say I'm late for work or I did something wrong, like I don't want my boss necessarily to be like, you did this like wrong, you suck, like what are you thinking? Like, you know, I want them to be a little bit more gracious and understanding, and I want them to act professional. So I think for sure that leadership is not this cookie cutter standardized thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it seems like Starbucks does a good job at really like investing in people as a company and not just focusing on like dollar outcome.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have like so many mottos that go for that. We're all about people. They call it we're a people company serving coffee. Like we're all about our customers. It's not even like, I mean, obviously our product is huge, but our customer experience is so important, and the amount of people I've met through my years of being with Starbucks, that's always what they all say is how consistently they're going into Starbucks and they're having that same awesome experience for the most part. You know, some people have bad experiences, but for the most part across the board, like that's just what we're known for, is investing in our customers.
So what would you all say for the second part of the question? What would you say is a bad leadership trait, or what's toxic in leadership?
I think we kind of touched on that with when you have like an authority type of a situation, you know, you're not going to get someone who, you know, wants to necessarily do more than they're told to do. They're not going to be invested in like the production of everybody. It's just going to be about themselves. So the situation I'm in would not work, I don't think, in any other kind of professional environment. Or maybe, I'm not going to say any other, but for most other professional environments. So that's kind of my response. It works for some circumstances, but it can definitely, I would say, majority of the time, be the definition of a bad leader.
Yeah. Would you say people who are willing to like change and to adapt to new ideas is also a bad, trait in a leader if you can't change with the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in school for like marketing and advertising, and I think that there's a skill set to be known for people who have done this for decades and have that traditional value. But then if they can't learn to adapt to modern audiences, then they're going to really fall short. Not only to themselves, but to the team that they're working with, and then ultimately to the product that they're putting out. I mean, our world's constantly changing. Why wouldn't leadership also change with it? So.
It's awesome.
Okay.
So what else do we have to go over? Because we're almost at 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that covers
there's some really cool TED Talks on leadership that I think if you just like Googled like top 8 leadership TED Talks, whatever, they're really, really kind of interesting and kind of give you more of a holistic idea. I think like the textbook does a good job, but I think like hearing people in various different fields talk about that situational leadership in their field is kind of interesting, and they're only like 6 minutes long, so just check it out.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
So, alrighty.
Okay.
Are we good? That was easy.
We are.
Yeah, that was super easy.
So
All right.
we'll see you guys
Well,
on
did you guys
10
get
a.m.
the
on
text?
Monday, right?
Yeah. Did you guys get the group message?
Yes, I just got your text.
I did too.
Awesome. Okay. Sweet.
Thanks.
Well, it's such a pleasure, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thanks for everything. Nice to meet you guys.
See ya.
Bye.